All right, we are on. All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. It is Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat. And excuse me, got a good lesson for you today. Should be quick. And what we're going to be talking about today is, hold on one sec. There we go. What we're going to be talking about today is what zeal looks like. And uh, basically what I'm be going over is just some stuff uh, we talked about um, this Shabbat with the saints. We all had a discussion about the Straightway Nashville Assembly. We had virtual Bible studies, and there were just some things that I had brought up. And one of the things I brought out is that, you know, the word says, work your salvation out with fear and trembling. Uh, you know, each individual is going to have to answer before the Most High on Judgment Day. And the Most High, you know, if you've studied the word, he's not one for the excuses. He eliminates the excuse. That's how we try to model things here. And what we're going to be doing is on this lesson today, just defining some words. Let me check my audio real quick, but we're going to be defining some words. And and y'all let me know how the audio is also. But yeah, we're going to be defining some words and really, like we do on a regular basis, getting the meat off the bone, coming straight down the middle, not veering left or right. Just, you know, no ambiguity, no gray talk. We're just coming with this thing, black or white, this or that. You know what I'm saying? Because Satan is a deceiver. He's subtle. And it's like they say, you know, they got a saying, the devil is in the details. So all this little tricky, subtle stuff, when you just come straight down the middle and make it plain and simple, there's not a lot of confusion. And you expose the devil. You shame the devil. Okay. Let's see if anybody gave me. Okay, they said the sound is 100. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through some of these words I pulled up and read the definition and kind of elaborate and go in different directions on this thing. Okay. The first word, as you see, it's in the title also, what zeal looks like. So what is zeal? And good definition I found of zeal is great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. Okay. Where everybody has zeal, but according to what? Okay. What is your zeal? You see some people, you know, for the things of the Most High Yah, for their brothers, for their communities, ain't too much zeal, but you bring up something that they have zeal for, something of this world, I don't know, music, video games, you know, whatever it is like you see them, they come alive. Oh, did somebody say so and so? Yeah, blah 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 blah, and they're all in. And again, you know, I've seen it in Straightway more than anywhere else. There's a lot of brothers and sisters in Straightway with zeal for the Most High Yah. When something about the Most High Yah come up, or something with their brothers and sisters, there's a zeal there. They're ready. Let's do it. Yeah, let's get it. Things of the world come up. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. But then you see people the other way. So it's like you really can't hide this thing. Um, that I'll tell you, that's one simple way I see it. You know, uh, uh, and you know, when you watch people, even with them knowing what I just said here, you can't fake it. It always comes through in people's action, what they spend their time doing, the growth you see in them, everything like that. You see exactly where their zeal is at. Okay. Let me see what we got here. Okay. Everybody. Okay. Some more people are just commenting saying the audio is good. That's good. Um, there have been people here in Straightway, Florida that I've told them, hey, you need to seek the Most High to give you a zeal to seek Him out and to be about His thing and not the things of this world. If you if you look at what's going on in this world, it is crazy. I watched this video I saw on YouTube. It had popped up there. This Shapiro guy. He's like a Jewish dude, but he be dropping some good information. Sometimes he's a conservative, and what he was breaking down was just how debased and wicked this last VMA award, Video Music Awards. I think it's MTV's Video Music Awards. He was saying it how horrible it was, and he showed clips from it, and it was a disaster. Like he called it in the video, he called it a dumpster fire. He said that's what it was, and I mean that's an understatement. It was it's literally like what are they doing? Like everybody who would get up there, the message was be more lascivious, commit more sexual immorality. That was the message they were pushing. And a lot of people, they had men kissing men on stage. Some dude performed with like his butt hanging out the back of his pants, like with assless chaps on. It was, y'all. It was, and like I said, it was just clips from it. I wouldn't watch that thing. Yeah, it was like good night, and it's just it. What it did for me, it showed me where, because I also see, some of the places we work at, we see, the direction the next generation is heading in, and it's alarming to say the least. And you see what's fueling it, because I mean the music it's literally a contest to see who can come up with the base, wicked, evil stuff they can, to destroy impressionable people. Like it's like children in their teens and stuff like that. Their minds are the most impressionable, and this is by design, controlled by Satan to get them into that wicked beast culture. I mean, it's bad. Y'all should check that video out by I think his name is Ben Shapiro or whatever his name is. He speaks on these types of things, and it's for me when I saw it, it was like, man, it's like cling to Yah, a zeal for Yah, seek Yah, get in line with Yah's ways, because this society is crumbling quick. And, come on here, and I speak on these things. And one of the things I told the saints here, one of the things that's changing, like I said earlier, is there are people who, they They try to act like they have a zeal for the Most High Yah, but I see the world is tugging on them in some way. Sometimes it's hidden, they hide it, whatever. The world is pulling on them in some way, and because they don't have this other word, we're going to define another word, okay? And that word is supplication, okay? They're not supplicating. And what's supplicating? The action of asking or begging for something earnestly and humbly. Uh, let's pull up that word earnestly for those who might not know what that means, okay? I think everybody knows what humbly means. Earnestly means with sincere and intense conviction, seriously. Okay. Um, let's get conviction. People might not know what the word conviction means. Conviction is a formal declaration that someone is guilty of a criminal offense made by the verdict of a jury. Um, the second definition, definition of this is even better though. It says a firmly held belief or opinion. Okay, that's earnestly. So with sincere and intense, firmly held uh, conviction or opinion, seriously. So that that's kind of breaking down that word supplication. There's a lot going on there, and when what I do, I read these words here: the action of asking or begging for something earnestly and humbly, um, and zeal, great energy and enthusiasm in the pursuit of a cause or an objection. And then I look at different brothers and sisters and saints and stuff like that around me, and I say, do they have zeal and are they supplicating? You know, and the down here, Straightway Nashville, we got a lot of brothers and sisters that are earnestly and sincerely supplicating, and they have that zeal. But then it's also blatantly obvious the ones who don't. You know what I'm saying? And what I've done, what I have been doing, and it just occurred to me, what I've been doing is when I first came into this, when I first came in this straightway, I would, you know, I'd be trying to convince. I waste a lot of time dealing with people, trying to convince them to love Yah. And slowly, as I've grown in this faith and in understanding, and watch the example of my leaders, like Pastor Dow, Pastor Corey, Elder Rufus, Elder Mitchell, Brother Daniel, and the brothers up there. And just as I watch the example uh, that they put forth, and then as I gain experience dealing with saints and dealing with ain'ts. And when I say ain'ts, people who claim they're saints, but they're really not going after Yah. They're not seeking Yah. They're not without emotion. And I'll go into this. Without emotion, without feeling, just asking Yah to give me zeal. I want to seek it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go into that. But over the time, what I've been watching with myself is I'm learning to not waste time with people that I've discerned don't have the zeal. They don't have it. It's not there. They're not supplicating. They're not serious about the Most High Yah. And how's that come forth? I know what I say every show. You will know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits, their footwork. Their footwork is a testament. And we've seen it, like I said, down here, Straightway, Florida. Before we transition, we've had individuals, talk a good game, but that footwork wasn't there. That dance they was doing wasn't the dance we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High weeds them out. The other thing I found is when I go against the Most High's word and I'm trying to do the Most High Yah's job and convince people to have zeal and convince uh, people to, supplicate and all that. I'm trying to be Yah. I'm trying to do his job. I got to back off and let Yah work his work. And in my life will be easier. The direction Straightway Florida moves now, Straightway Nashville becomes easier. And I've seen it. As certain people weeded themselves out, the assembly moved forward at a faster pace. And so it's like a pruning process. You prune the branch back, cut it, lessen the size of the branch, lessen the amount of the plant, and it grows quicker, and that's real, and we've seen it. And like I said, every dead season, that process continues. Like Pastor Dow says, um, the Most High multiplies by dividing and adds by subtracting. Okay, and hopefully I said that right. All right. So we're going to get into some other words that I get into, that I look at when I'm discerning brothers, sisters, saints, and ain'ts. Okay. We're going to get into some other words here. Okay. And let me add something on to what I just said and pick up on something that I need to elaborate on. So now I'm learning. It's always a learning process. I'm learning to not get caught up, and it's a process. It don't happen overnight, but I'm learning to not get caught up in wasting time with people who don't have zeal and don't have supplication and not supplicating. I don't waste time with them because I see the people with zeal and I deal with the people who are supplicating, and you can't keep them away from the truth. You can't keep them away from serving and being obedient and falling in line with, the model that we are falling in line with, the example set forth by our leadership. That the example we see set forth by Pastor Dow and the rest of the leadership in Straightway, and he following the leadership and what's laid out in the Word and lining up with that, and we're seeing the blessings of that. So when people don't want to fall in line with that, and when you're falling in line and you're seeing the blessings of it. And now, like I said, my new big, I ain't gonna say it's a new big revelation, but the Most High has enabled me to just focus on him more and not distractions, which people who lack zeal and supplication become a distraction if you let them. But check this out. So let's talk about, let me hit on something I said. What was I saying? Where, yeah, I'm gonna have to hit that later. All right. So look, careless and excuses. Okay. The people who lack zeal and supplication, a key sign that they might be ain'ts and they're not saints or whatever, is careless and excuses. Now, we were talking to a brother about this Shabbat, but it was just a wake up call to him in a for him to improve in certain tasks he does and everything like that, so he can begin to have a spirit of excellence about him. He has a zeal and supplication to get the spirit of excellence about him. He, we can see it on him that he has what it takes, but it requires effort. So you got to put forth the effort. But the other thing we see is people out there who don't have the zeal and don't have the supplication. And what they're operating in is a spirit of carelessness and a spirit of excuse making, okay, which goes hand in hand, literally are the same. So let's look up carelessness. Not giving sufficient attention or thought to avoiding harm or errors, okay? Not concerned or worried about something, okay? Showing or caused by a lack of attention. So when you're not focused on the Most High Yahweh, when you're not focused on His ways, and His ways of living and functioning and everything like that, you come off as careless. Now, one of the things I've experienced that I've seen in my short stint with the Straightway Saints is careless people aren't fully careless. They can care less about the things of Yah, the things that we're focused on. But like I said before, when I was talking about that word zeal, I have seen careless people be full of zeal and be careful. So let's pull that up about the things of the flesh, the things that they care about. Okay. Full. Okay. So let's check that out. Okay. So be careful. Make sure of avoiding potential danger, mishap, or harm. Cautious, done with or showing thought and attention. So I've seen people, whether it's people, whether it's places, whether it's things, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's food, you name it, whatever it is, I have seen people um, uh, be full of zeal and supplication when it comes to those things of the flesh. That the or let's use another word to sum all this up: idolatry. Okay, the things that they have made gods in their life. It could be people, places, things, um, uh, time, money, emotions, mindsets, uh, food, addictions, you name it. If it if it brings that zeal in you, look, I'm not just talking, man. Let me tell you, I'll tell you firsthand. I had those things, plenty of them, and slowly chop them off and get them off me. You know what I'm saying? One battle at a time. I too had the same thing, but what happens with when people don't have a desire to get them off, eventually they take them out. And a lot of times it's right there in the dead season. It just gets them and poof, they're gone. Okay. All right. So that was careless. Okay. The other one, the big one. Okay. Because one of those things people won't let go is pride. And that leads to this one, and that is excuse. People make excuses. So let's read that definition. Attempt to lessen the blame attached to a fault or offense. Seek to defend and justify. Release someone from a duty or requirement. A reason or explanation put forward to defend or justify a fault or offense. And that's because They're making excuses because they're careless. And what's the definition of careless? Not giving sufficient attention or thought to avoiding harm or errors. So because you didn't give sufficient attention or thought to avoiding harm or errors, you are attempting to lessen the blame, acting to uh, lessen the blame and seeking to defend or justify yourself. Okay? I'm just combining both definitions and showing you how this thing ain't complicated. You know, one of the things a lot of people fall into from this Greco-Roman beast system, this Roman Catholic Christian mindset is, oh yeah, uh, justifying people's excuses. Oh yeah, sometimes it's, just things happen sometimes and blah, 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 and this, that, and other. And sometimes stuff just happens. And, at the end of the day, it's just excuses. It's just making excuses and keeping sin in the camp, keeping sin at the forefront to keep everybody hindered in their and arrested in their development. Um, when you're sitting there and justifying behaviors that are not with excellence, so you're justifying mediocrity and, oh, sometimes some people, whatever, you know like, for instance, I'll tell you something that happened. um we watched Karate Kid, the old one, this weekend, for spiritual purposes, just to see some things. And it was funny because, number one, I haven't seen that in so long. So them cars in that movie look so old. But anyway, I mean, the cars, the hairdos, and the clothes. But anyway, towards the end, a guy had kicked him in his leg, and they carried him to the back locker room. And the feminine spirit came in there. His mother came in there and was like, "Oh, you did so good. It's okay though. Blah blah blah. Just, you did well, but just you'll be all right. Just take time and get better." And and then his mother and his girlfriend left, and then Miyagi came in there and was like, "You think I can do it?" He's like, "I want to do it. I want to win. I don't want to go back." So he wasn't justifying, in a spiritual sense. He wasn't justifying the sin. And look, I'm gonna fight and get this thing right. I'm not making excuses for carelessness or for something I messed up. We're going to go through, whether it's painful or not. We banging on this thing. We fighting. And that's why I call this spiritual combat, because I'm about warfare. I ain't about mediocrity, giving up, making excuses for sinning. You go through the pain, and a lot of people think God's going to magically make them a righteous person. No, at some point that your effort is required to be put forth. That is why the definition of supplication, and look that word up in the Bible. Y'all need to look that up. The action of asking or begging for something earnestly or humbly. That's work. You putting work in. That's some of the works. Some of the works is that. And then after you've done that, supplication tells you just stand and endure the war, the fight. Satan's, the armor, the armor of Yah. Endure his fiery darts with your shield of faith. I've done a show on that. I did a breakdown on the shield of faith and fiery darts, and how back in the day, when there was warfare, the enemy would shoot fiery darts. And your sword could not defend you from the fiery darts. Because you'd be like trying to slice them as they come down super fast and they're on fire. Um, your your breastplate and all that cannot defend you from fiery darts. Only your shield can defend you, because the shield, you just put your shield over you like this, and those darts come raining down and they hit that shield. And the shield isn't going to burn up. It ain't going to catch on, it might catch on fire, but you'll be able to weather those fiery darts without getting one stuck in your shoulder and all that stuff like that, with that big shield of faith, of believing, of having that zeal, that sincere zeal for the Most High Yah. In the and weathering the storm of emotions, in the storm of emotions. And what I'm saying, and this is going to go back to what I wanted to speak on earlier. I was telling the saints, sometimes Yah's the only thing you got to rely on. There's no people there. Your emotions are even speaking against you. Is nothing. Your feelings are against you. Everything's against you, and you literally can only focus on Yah and pray to Yah and seek Yah. Even the voices in your head are saying, "Oh no, you don't need to do that. Oh, this, that, and the other, this, that." But focus on Him. Focus on Christ. Focus on His Word. You see what I'm saying? And you have to get down to that level. And this is why a lot of these ain'ts that call themselves saints got taken out, because they didn't know how to focus in on Yah and really supplicate in the weather of their emotions and feelings and people, places, things, and addictions and everything else. It's not cinematic. It ain't quaint and beautiful. It's grimy warfare, combat. It's spiritual combat. But you got to have that shield of faith. You see what I'm saying? Because the sword ain't gonna stop them fiery darts. You sitting there reading the Bible, you see a lot of these holy rollers who talk a good game, but they get took out because, look, they don't really got that faith. They're not really locked in with Yah. So you can have, like I said, me coming through this whole Hebrew Israelite thing, I've seen a lot of brothers, or not brothers, a lot of people who had the Bible memorized. So they had the sword, but it wasn't internalized. Okay, it was memorized, but it wasn't internalized, if that makes sense. Put a 100 up in there if y'all get that, if y'all understand where I'm coming from. And what I'm gonna do, y'all, hopefully, all right, I'm gonna go through some of the comments. If y'all, while I'm going through the comments, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in there. And I'm gonna go through these comments. So Edward said, "Shalom, shalom, brother Mick." Okay, I'll take that, brother Mick. That's my new name, my brother Mick. That's cool. All right, and they was telling me my sound is on point. All right, that's good. Somebody posted some scriptures. All right, Sister Crystal said, "Trying to convince people to love Yah is like trying to do the work of the Holy Spirit. We can't do it." I too had to learn that. That's big facts. That's big facts, Sister Crystal. Hallelujah. You will know them by their fruits. That's right. You will know them by their fruits. All right. Brother Cornelius said, "Hallelujah." Sister Koya said, "Shalom." All right, let's see. Rudy said, "Shalom and blessings." Ron said, "Shalom." I got said, all right, shalom to y'all. Brother Manuel said 100. Everybody's getting it. Good to see y'all in there. And y'all know, like I said, Straightway Florida, our next virtual Bible study is going to be on this video here. So what y'all are asked to do is just get scriptures that line up with what was spoken about here, or what we spoke about here might have sparked something else that you might want to go into, and just bring some scriptures out in it. Okay. All right, let's see. Romans 8:5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. And that's a good verse, Koya, where, and you literally see this, man. Like, we got brothers here, like Brother Umbry and Chris and Emmanuel and myself. We get after it with the spiritual things. And if we get a chance to eat, we might, you know what I'm saying? But I've watched with those brothers where, and with a lot of the sisters in the house, they're able to overcome their flesh, overcome urges and stuff like that. I know it's been that's a major process of spiritual growth, is like not minding the things of the flesh, the carnal nature, whether it's emotional mindsets, people, places, things. Y'all know what I keep saying. So that's a good one. You need to save that for the Bible study there. All right. All right. Sister Rachel says, Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Bless you all. All right. Good to see you in there. Let me see. Cornelia, people saying 100. Koya said, many people who have zeal haven't learned to mortify the deeds of the flesh. That's big facts. And it's killing that flesh, dying to that flesh, dying to them voices in your head and those urges and all that. And it's a constant process. I've been slowly dying to my flesh, killing one thing at a time, just slowly going to war with stuff, one at a time. And once you get in the habit of doing it, it's not as big of an effort. But a lot of times that first war can be intense. Okay. Shalom, blessings. Good to see you there. Forgive me, Brother Mike. Forgive you. I don't know. Oh, are you talking about for the name or something? Let me see what you're saying. Forgive you for. You don't want to type the name? Nah, man. I think that's funny, man. You good? That's fine. Yes, sir. Message received. All right. And another scripture that comes to mind is dying daily. Dying daily. There's a lot for us to die. Look, when I realized, when the Most High opened my eyes up and showed me how off I really was, I was like, because I used to wonder what's the point of this long life? I was like, what do we do? But then once I came into this truth, I was like, man, there ain't enough time in this life to get everything straightened out. I need to get to work, So that was an interesting realization I had. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Like I said, Straightway Florida. I got a couple more things people post. Like I said, Straightway Florida. This is our Bible study. I'll be putting it in the group. And Brother Emmanuel put in the Strong's Concordance definition of supplication. So we'll read that. And it says, need, indignance, want, privation, penury. We'll have to define them, because some of them words I do not know. It says a seeking, asking, entreating, entreaty to God or to man. Okay, so definitely, I would have y'all to look all those words up, like entreaty, provision, privation, and all that. Look those words up so that you get a good internalized understanding of what it is to seek after the Most High. Because supplication is seeking Yah. Okay, when you're supplicating after. Okay, somebody say yes, sir. Dying daily and truly becoming a living sacrifice. Looking forward to the study. All right. All right, y'all. So I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Even though it's Labor Day, on Labor Day, we labor. So we got laboring to do. We're getting ready to get after it. Anyway, y'all, appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. You watch Spiritual Combat. Shalom, shalom.